Yes, guys, welcome to Bala Sports. How you guys doing? Got the game
Yes.
with me,
Let's go. Let's
John
get back.
Quincy,
What you doing?
We here, man. Kosi, Musa, Johnny.
Quincy, man. This guy's Arsenal fan, man. John,
Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah.
we
Welcome
here.
We we
back.
we make it. We made it here again by the grace of the good Lord. We are here to discuss the drama
All right,
of the
let's get
greatest
this.
league in the world.
Let's get to the drama, then, man. Matchweek 36 with the drama, as you mentioned, man. Few pressure results that could shape the end of the season. Of course, man. We got an Arsenal pulling late winner against West Ham. Chelsea level with Liverpool. Man City cruising Brentford 3-0. That was an easy win. Of course, the rest of the other stories with Manchester United come back to reality. 0-0 tie game against Sunderland. That was a really technical game, but Brighton rolled past Wolves. Wolves should be embarrassed. They're probably the worst Premier League team that ever exists in the Premier League. No doubt of that, man. They lost 3-0. There's no fighting spirit in that team. And Fulham versus Bournemouth, of course, is 1-0, but we're going to get to the big conversation, the big talk of the week. The conversation, the controversy call that could define the season, but we never know because Man City still got a game in hand. Arsenal beating West Ham. This is what the drama is all about, and this is the Premier League. A team that could have won this Premier League, I think, 2 weeks ago. But they show up today and they grab it late winner. Expected. So if you want to win, you got to pull games like this. It was a hard-fought game, and nothing is easy in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal scoring late through Tresser, late winner against West Ham, as I mentioned. I know we got Arsenal fan in the building. So, John, we're going to take our time. Let's listen to my brother Queens tell us how this game might reshape Arsenal's future going forward, or this is one of the games that you believe Arsenal got lucky? Tell me, man. Talk to me. What's your thoughts on this game? Arsenal winning 1-0 against West Ham.
Yes, the fortune was on our side today. I mean, to be an Arsenal fan, to play against West Ham in the relegation zone, just to show you how hard it is when you're trying to win a cup and playing against a team that you think you're going to waltz in there and cream them with goals. That being said, in the first half, we were flowing. It looked like the Arsenal of old 2 years ago, a year ago, when the midfielders stringing the ball. We're not really playing this side to side backwards. We're going forward with progression, creating chances. Calafiori is coming forward from the left back, attacking the goal, and chances are being created. Unfortunately, Ben White got into a collision, I believe, with Somerville, and he came out the game. That changed a lot for us in this game, whereas West Ham, they haven't been the West Ham that we know, but they have an attack. They know how to attack you if you don't, if they find a weakness. And Arteta made an interesting decision with trying this, putting Declan Rice at right back. I mean, my hat's off to Declan Rice. He's been running the whole season. He probably has the most miles out of any player between him and Zubimendi, respectfully. But he puts Rice at right back to bring Zubimendi in, and it looks like now we're seeding back to this style where all the chances seize. So now we're back in a conundrum where Arsenal cannot score, and it's past halftime again. So Arsenal go into halftime, and I'm thinking there's no way we can't score a goal in this game. Just from seeing how we were attacking in the first half. Lewis Skelly comes in and he shows the difference that he can be in the midfield for us. The guy takes out Zubimendi and things change for us a little bit again. It's a sub for sub. No player ever wants to go into a game and then come out again, but Zubimendi looks like he's run his race in this league. He probably played some of the most games for Arsenal, but the guy is like, the first pass he made to Eze, it goes out of bounds. It's showing you like he's a little bit nervous and mixed with fatigue. So the game progresses, and Odegaard is hungry off the bench. We've been benching Odegaard for Eze. Odegaard is hungry. He knows that it could change for him if he doesn't show any progression. He comes in late, and we create a chance pull one out of the hat. Trossard was just playing a beautiful game for us this game. And just before that, David Raya is definitely the player of the season for me for Arsenal. He saves a breakaway goal. Like the guy is clear on goal. That dude Nunes, I believe his name is, he's a very good player for West Ham again too. Like, they know how to attack you, and they sniffed out our weakness, which was through the right back's position, which is going forward is going to be a headache for us because both of our right backs are injured. So we're going to have to use probably Mascara over there. David Raya saves a point blank breakaway, and then on the corner for them to tie, and then dying moments. This is the drama now. If Raya doesn't get his hand on this ball, for me, it's gonna be a goal. But the thing is, Raya had his hand on the ball, so they're gonna call a foul. You know, this VAR has taken somewhat of the purity out of the Premier League as we know it. As in back then, you know, this would have been a late 90-minute tie. You know, but this VAR situation comes in. Being a pure footballer, I don't know how much I like it, but I mean, for me, it's a foul. Yes,
You're an Arsenal
because
fan. What
Ryan.
you expect us
Yeah,
to
but
say?
I'm saying it from a
You know?
from a footballing perspective now. If Raya doesn't get his hand on the ball, they're gonna play on because there's so many fouls going on, which so much other fans are hacking shit for Arsenal because we tend to do a lot of holding and dark arts when there's a set piece. But as a West Ham player, how are you gonna hold the goalie's arm? How are you gonna hold the goalie's arm at this point? I don't know if it was instinctive or what, when you're in the relegation zone at that too, to save 3 points off the league leaders
All right,
was
let me get.
kind of brainless for me.
Now that you talk about the West Ham and the whole VR controversy call, the West Ham thought that they had a rescue point deep in the stoppage time from Wilson in the 95th minute, but VR ruled it out. The decision become defined talk about. We all could talk about this because West Ham needed these points. West Ham also needed these points as much as
Yes.
Arsenal needed this point. So, John, with that being said, man, do you think West Ham was done wrong here?
I mean, I'm looking at it like as a fan, just a supporter of football. I'm gonna probably say they probably damn man, it's kind of hard to call, man, because that call has gone so many different directions in different games that it makes it hard for me to make a decision and not sound crazy and then not defend the other that it happened in a different game and so on, because we know it happened to us against Arsenal. Some things that didn't get called. It happened to other teams as well, Man City, like we mentioned in the chat earlier this morning when we were talking. So it has happened a lot this season. VR has not been consistent in many games. They, like you said, especially a game like this one, they cost West Ham a vital point. You know, they're fighting for their lives right now. They're only 2 points behind Tottenham, so this game really meant a lot for them. So for it to go down the way it did in such a big decision, honestly, I would have just left it. I would have just freaking disallowed both goals and just let it go to a draw. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to allow one thing, just allow the other one and just make it an even. But I think it's making things a little more interesting going towards the end of the season, at least. You know, we know that West Ham is still fighting. Man City still has one game in hand. Arsenal are doing the job that we thought we should have been done a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
But with their injuries and the way things are going, I feel like they still gonna, take it at the end. You know what I'm saying? As much as I hate to say it, being fan that I am, and if I'm gonna stick to my true colors, I do not want to fucking see it happening, but I can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? Where ourselves are not in great positions neither, but I feel like West Ham today could and they played good. They really did. I think. But also, Raya has some good saves because they had some good opportunities to really, from open play. So it's not, I can't just rely only in the mistake call that happened at the end of the game, because they did have some clear opportunities
Yeah,
to put the
Right.
ball in. Raya just had good opportunities as the goalkeeper, and then he did his job. He saved the ball.
correct.
So I don't want to put all the pressure on that call alone, because they did play well. Sadly, it did come to that call where the goal was disallowed in the 93rd minute, like we mentioned, with the arm and all that. But besides that, I think it was a very, very entertaining game. I would have loved to have seen it go to a draw and just make things a little more juicy towards the end. But I understand what the call was made.
Yes, so you mentioned something that said if it was consistent all season, we see Arsenal score plenty goals where the goalkeepers get crowded. We see players getting hugged in the box. We see players getting most of the goals come from the set piece, so they had to do the dirty work through that mess. VAR
Absolutely.
never interfered because we all accept it. Fans get mad, but Arsenal has scored similar goals like this all season. If it wasn't for that, I think that this call would have been okay. It is a
Exactly.
foul if you look at it. But because of VR was so inconsistent, as you mentioned, that's why a lot of fans, got issue with this. But Arsenal fans, man, let me talk to you guys for a minute. I gotta say something. I can't just, it's one thing. There's one thing when you celebrate things like this all season when you guys getting your set piece FC goals. We go in there, y'all celebrate, y'all don't care about the other teams, blah, blah, blah. The referee should have called it. The most hypocrite fan base in the world of football just this season has been identified. You look the word hypocrite and Google Arsenal fans are gonna pop up. This is the most funniest thing for me. Because no, we see the Arsenal score goals when you guys hold goals. I see Gabriel, Saliba, all these guys be all these guys be fouling in the box for so long, hugging players in the box. But let's move on. VAR did the right thing. I understand. It's in your favor. But speaking of that, like, let's get to the game, bro. But honestly, Arsenal did what they're supposed to do, right?
They did what they're
83rd
supposed
minute
to do.
later, they did what they're supposed to do. But let's get back to West Ham. Johnny, you point a lot of things out. West Ham had chance. They had clear chance to actually win this game, including like one of the strongest opportunities. You know what? Even when you look at a lot of great teams that won, well, a lot of teams that won the championship, because this Arsenal team, I won't call them great team because nobody gonna remember this piece of shit team in 15 years from now. Let's just call this out. But there's one thing the world was going to remember, that they had the best goalie this season. I is the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, hands down, this season. You know, he did his thing. And there's somebody's stop that he made right here. This is the kind of things that Mendy did for us in the Champions League. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have this type of moments as a goalkeeper. When it's clutch time, you show up and you do what he had to do. Ryan should be the man of the season for you guys, like you mentioned, Queens, no doubt. But man, boy, oh boy, oh boy. If I'm an Arsenal fan, man, do you know that this is why I gotta stop making fun of a lot of Arsenal fans, because this is trauma. This could affect your sleep. This could affect your livelihood. This could even affect your fucking testosterone.
Bro,
because this shit is crazy.
I was very amazed. Like, there's no way we're not gonna score a goal in this game, bro. All the way. Look how long it took. Look what we had to go through to get one single goal. I mean, Trossard headed the ball from 5 yards and he headed it into the post. Like what? It's like when Arsenal need goals the most, as a fan over the years, when we need goals the most, it's like they're hard to come by. When we don't need them, it's just free flow and it's just beautiful. We're playing a beautiful game. But then when it's time for crunch time, it's the hardest thing to come by. We can barely win a game 3-0. It's like, damn, it's the pressure. It's the pressure, you know, of being one season you go undefeated and you win one time. And after that, the pressure of doing to try to win it again, it's like
that's not what happened. That's not what happened. If you talk about your undefeated season, if you talk about your undefeated season when y'all won the Premier League, that's not what happened. There's a team in West London, a Stamford Bridge, show up and say, "Wait a minute here, this sucker's got us messed up," and won back to back. That's what happened. Chelsea showed up.
Back, but Chelsea showed up. But did they go undefeated?
But speaking about Chelsea, man, let's move on to the next round, man. Congratulations to Arsenal fan, man. Dude, I know for a fact. I know for a fact that you guys. I know for a fact that you guys are nervous. I've been there. I've been there in 2004 when Chelsea, you know what I mean? For the first Premier League title, man, I understand. The drought is real. I feel you guys. But moving on to Chelsea versus Liverpool, man, this was one of the games like, yo, you guys, you just got to play to survive. I think both teams are trash. Chelsea and Liverpool. This season, both of them are trash. So, John, I'm sorry, man. I got to call our team out. I got to call spade a spade.
You already know how we get down, man. We call it like we see it.
We call that as it, but the crazy part about it's not just about what happened in the pitch with Chelsea whenever you talk about Chelsea. But with Liverpool's standpoint, man, I'm going to hear you guys' opinion in this. You know, you won the Premier League last year. You are the defending champ. Yes, tragedy happened in the club. Rest in peace, Jata. But how do you even explain this game against Liverpool? What is your take? Liverpool won, Chelsea won.
It was a dull game. I mean, I expected more, obviously. You know, I think we look better than what we did on their Rosinia, that's for sure. We look a little more hungry. Look going forward. Cole Palmer seems to get a little more involved. Joao Pedro, I'm in love with the guy. I think he's been having a fantastic season. Cucurella had a great game. I think he was one of going forward. He was very involved. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I like to see when he gets involved. He's very aggressive, and I like to see that from him. Enzo, obviously, I think the free kick that we score. I mean, they grab him by gore. Let's get to that one first. That was a peach. That was a peach. I think Jorgensen, if he would have had a better stand, I think he maybe could have, because he kind of had like little fingertips to it. But it was hit beautifully. I mean, just gorgeous. Even for every angle that they showed, it was very nice. and it was early. So it just shows again our lack of defensive awareness early in the game. I mean, you go back to the Nottingham Forest goal as well in the
Yeah.
second minute as well. So it's just showing that we're not like tighten up. We're not playing collectively. I know Lee White Cole is back. I'm glad to see him. Well, he's also been gone pretty much all season. I know we train together, but when we're in the pitch and the ball is moving and you're playing against people that is not your teammates, it's completely different. The game is moving. You're home. You're playing against the defending champions. There's a lot going on, so I can't put all the blame on him. But at the same time, I feel like we looked okay. I like the goal, even though it was, I don't know, man, it kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest with you. It's not like we did an awesome play and we got it here and there, but I appreciate the goal. We walked out of there with the 1 point, which at the end of the day, right now, all we need is points. I don't care how we get them. Let's just get them. And I think we went in there. We did what we had to do. We held defensively towards the end and walked out of there with that precious 1 point that right now we desperately need.
Yeah, he was early goal again. It happens
Yes.
against Brighton. He actually happened against Nottingham Forest. It happens now. It happens against Liverpool. 6 minute under 6 minute. 3 games in a row. 3 Premier League games in a row. Yeah, we snapped the losing streak. We didn't lose 7 games or 6 games, whatever it is in a row.
7.
But at the end of the day, man, you nail it. We just need a point. We need something to happen. We need something to have this spark, we want to call it, going to the finals on Saturday against Man City. It's FA Cup finals. Trophy is a trophy. That's a must-win game for us. And this was a must-win game for us. But we end up coming up with a point. Am I happy about the point? Okay, it is what it is. As long as we didn't lose at this point.
Right.
But it's just so weird how Chelsea had a chance to win this game, first of all. Now, we got a left back playing left wing. Let that just sink in for a minute.
Yeah,
We spent billions of dollars on players, and all the wingers are out.
I know.
Esteva out. Pedro Neto wasn't there. Who was? Garnacho, I don't even know why he's still in the club. Wasn't there. Gittin not there. And the young Jesse, man, young economy player, man.
Yeah,
he showed,
Derby, man. I feel bad for him. I saw
yeah,
that.
speed of recovery. But this is a moment
that?
where
The
The young who?
youngster.
yeah, the youngster that started.
They just
Barry, whatever. What is it, man?
Yeah.
Barry?
But quiz, but like, what's going on with Liverpool? How does Liverpool went from the team we saw last year to this team this year? Because we can't just talk about the Chelsea game. It's overall all season. It's shaky. Is it coaching? Is it the passing of
Like I
Jetta? What's
said,
going on?
with this team, I believe they got rid of certain players again, and they just went and tried to get players that didn't really fill in what was there before. I mean, you go and get what's the guy, my boy that just got injured from France. He just tore his Achilles. What's that guy's name again?
For who? For Liverpool?
Yeah, from Liverpool, the striker.
Lisa?
Ekitike.
Ekitike, yeah. Ekitike. You bring Ekitike, and then you bring my guy from Isak from
Isak.
Newcastle, right?
Huge feed.
You know, and they're kind of two strikers. You had Luis Diaz as an out and out. You got rid of Sadio Mane, right? You got rid of Sadio Mane, but then you go and bring Diaz, kind of the same kind of caliber, whereas these guys are attacking wingers, right? You get rid of Diaz, but what do you bring in for that now? They kind of just went and got these two attackers, and then they think they're going to just build around them, and it kind of took away from their style. If we know the style that they had before, the Geigen pressing style they had, was going to be three people running at you, dangerous. Nunes, Salah, whether it be Mane or Diaz. And look what Diaz went and did for Bayern Munich. He scored one of the nastiest goals in the past couple weeks in the Champions League. You understand? That leaving out, they got this young kid in Gamal coming in. He's 17, but you're building around that now with a depleted squad, and your midfield, it's kind of depleted also. It's shaky. There's no real identity, and you have a loss of a player loss like that. So it's like they had it's the stability they had kind of left the team. You understand? And that's what I see with Liverpool, is like they show flashes of it, but what are they doing to move forward? Even if when Salah goes off the field, what do you have in place for that? You understand? Like, even I'm not saying, like, you see Arsenal, if Saka cannot play, you still have some kind of a player, Madueke, that's there, that's going to kind of emulate the style, but still kind of put pressure on other teams. You understand? Liverpool, we know they're known for that, but it's like the injuries didn't help them. We know that, but their stability in the midfield and a lot of the year, Szoboszlai's been playing right back. Szoboszlai's been playing right back. You know, Szoboszlai is a player that needs to be in the mid on the ball conducting things. So it's like it's give
Right.
and take with them. So some of their identity, you know,
Yeah,
really
that's really the
really kind of
struggle.
left that we know about this like the Klopp style, any given game they could burst for how much goals? 3, 4, 5. You understand? Now they get one and then you don't see anything after that, you know? And Chelsea comes and sneaks one and then it ends in a draw, you know, and it's late in the season too. And they're playing are they in Champions League right now? Are y'all ahead of
No,
We're
we're
in
not ahead of them.
we're in ninth place.
So, John, talk to me, man. Of course, that's a good take on the Liverpool side, man. Honestly, I don't care about Liverpool. They talk too much shit when everybody else spend money. They're always running the mouth about what everybody else is spending. We're not spending, blah, blah, blah. Now you spend,
they
now you
spend and
spend
it's
over
like
three
what
hundred
comes
some
of
million. Then what
it?
comes with it?
Yeah.
And
What
Bunch
comes
of
with it?
excuses and stuff like y'all want to blame Mo Salah situation. Y'all want to blame that he was his
Nah,
slot is not the right coach.
nah.
Blah blah blah. Y'all didn't say that last year. You know,
honestly, I think it though kind of went downhill once Klopp left. Even though they won, like
Yes.
you mentioned, won the title and everything, it really wasn't his Arne Slot identity. Kind of club, kind of still had kind of like his fingerprint still left behind. So when the moves were made, the passing of Jota and then him coming in and bringing the signings, like you guys mentioned, definitely put a different identity on the team, and it was a whole different playing style. And I don't think the players have really have bit into it because it shows in the pitch, and then the injuries also don't help. But we're talking about a team that used to play very flowing football, like you guys mentioned, so to see the way they are, and like you mentioned, Soboslai playing right back and center back, it brings up to the point like Cucurella also playing in the back, and then he playing left wing. It shows like we're both kind of like in the same struggle in this kind of trying to find our way, trying to find our identity still with new coaches and stuff. And I feel
Yes.
like, at least in our point of view for my club, we have gone through 7 managers since the new owners took over. And I know where people want to talk about, oh, you guys used to fire managers. Yeah, we did, but we used to get results when that happened. The pressure was put in. It's like, you come in here, we're expecting you to bring trophy, and if not, at least we're competing for Champions League and we're fighting for the at least top 3. And now we're barely doing that. We're more worried about farming players and trying to make a profit. I'm hearing things that are going to be different coming up. Thinking that Xabi Alonso might be the guy that we might be talking about, that he might have a little more freedom. They want to hire him soon enough so he can be involved in the transfer communications, and maybe he can put his input on the players that we need to bring in here. Hopefully, it's not all young players. Maybe we can bring some actual, Premier League proven players, or who actually been around, done something, can come in and be that big boys that we need to have in the locker room. And hopefully a player like Xabi Alonso, who has played alongside great players, has won things, has done great things. We saw what he did in the Bundesliga, undefeated. They won the double, went to Real Madrid. Yeah, they got rid of him, but he played, 34 games, won like 28 of them, if I'm not mistaken, or 24. So that's, to me, it's a decent record for a club that right now is 14 points behind and second place, while Barcelona wins another Liga title. So that, to me, speaks volumes as well about him. He's a young manager. I think his young mentality can come in here and maybe help these young players feel more comfortable in a different system. So I'm looking forward to the moves. Obviously, I said the same thing last fucking year, and we saw where we at right now. But at the end of the day, I'm still pushing for mines. This is my boys, and I'm gonna hold it down for them all day, every day. So the season right now, yeah, I mean, it's sad to see where we are. We've been here before, obviously, but we're definitely the best. We're only gonna go up. Hopefully, the big game. the fucking.
big game is on
This
Saturday,
weekend,
bro, man.
the big game,
It's just like,
I'm pulling for y'all, man. I'm pulling for y'all.
They gave the big game is on Saturday. Well put though, John. Everything you said about Chelsea Football Club, man. Well done. At this point, it's not about frustration no more. It's about like, what the fuck is going on?
perform, man.
Yeah,
They say that Enzo is not really keen on making a move to Madrid. If
it never was though. But like when things are going wrong in a club, of course you're gonna hear stories like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like
Especially
I'm
from
the
biggest
guy that's
players.
If they get
I'm
a
the guy,
Xabi Alonso,
right?
then that could be
So
good. That
I'm
could
the
be
guy
good.
with that unpopular opinion because I think that I am not gonna get rid of Enzo and Casado. You know,
No
what I mean?
way.
I'm
No
not.
way.
There's no way. I'm
There's
not
no
gonna say
way.
get rid of Cole Palmer, but I am not getting rid of Enzo and
Nah,
Casado.
nah, nah, nah.
But
No way.
Not
But
unless
like you
they're
said, man,
paying bank. They're paying. They're giving you the money for it, and that you can't deny. You can't get rid of them. You know. And he's voiced that. I guess he's voiced that he doesn't want to play
He
under
doesn't want to go.
Mourinho if he
and
goes
then
to
like
Madrid.
to
So
just piggyback what John said, man, hiring Xavi Alonso. Even if you got a young players, at least you got a head coach with a pedigree. So, you know what I'm saying, head coach that players that look
That's
up
some
to.
kind of substance, man.
Yeah,
He's
you know what I'm
been
saying?
he's done
Something that
knows what
means
pressure
something.
is like.
Right. But you would have hired a guy named Liam Racino. Who the hell is this guy? Why would Cole Palmer or Enzo Casero just walk in there seeing a guy that just want to explain himself like a school teacher, as John mentioned? But we're not gonna
they
get into Chelsea
I
because it's gonna
believe
be
I
all night.
believe I believe the staff of Chelsea, they kind of go for the what's trending sometimes, or that's what happens in football. And
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
saw his
what's that?
success.
The
They saw
cool
his success at
Strasbourg.
Strasbourg, and they're seeing what he's
But that,
doing. They're like,
but see,
okay,
but
let's get
that
this
that
guy in.
that that to me is a cop out because he had no
Yeah,
fucking success.
yeah,
Okay, you did okay in Strasbourg, but let's be
yeah.
honest, that's the fucking French league.
That's
PSG's
not
been
the
winning
reason why
that
they
since the
hire
league
him
was
though.
made. Besides, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's always been a one team, always winning the same thing. So it's like, and he was a yes man.
I honestly believe that they hire Rio Racina because he's already in the book for them. And they don't need it. They just take a gamble and
Exactly.
say, let's just see what's gonna happen. You know
And
what I mean? Because and then he's
he's
just
an
gonna agree with
Englishman.
Yeah,
us.
I
We already
that's
paying him. We
exactly
just
what
got
happened,
yeah.
man. They're
So
like, throw him in there. If he turns out to be good, we look like fucking geniuses.
if he
Yep,
You know what
doesn't,
I'm
we
saying?
get rid
And if
of
he
him.
doesn't, we could be like,
get
well, you
rid
know,
of
he's
him.
a young coach. We made a mistake. We trusted him. We thought he was the man for the job. We apologize. Well, he is now we're gonna go out and find something different. But that's exactly what it was. That's one of those moves. Like you said, he was already on the book. It's just easy to be like, yo, just slide over here real quick. You know what I mean? Hold it down for us for so-called 5 years, $4 million a year. Like, man, get the heck out of here. No way, bro.
All right,
No
man.
way.
Give me a quick. Let's move on to a quick rundown, man. The pressure's still up. Man City looking like Man City when it comes to results and winning games. The performance might not be as great as we used to seeing, but Man City beating Brentford, excuse me. 3-0 City looking control from the beginning, from the start to finish, my opinion, especially with Doku and Holland netting. Omar, dude.
Come on, like I'm
Bro, come
saying,
on, dude. It's Man
look at
City,
this
bro.
team,
So
bro.
give
Look
me
at
a
this.
quick take at Man City, man. The pressure on Arsenal right now. If Arsenal sleep off, all they need just to smell the blood. Yeah, almost happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, Johnny, you want to go? You want to go
go
talk
Well,
about
ahead,
hey,
go
these
ahead,
well,
go
guys?
you
ahead,
take
go
it.
ahead, go
The
ahead. As an
pressure.
Arsenal fan, the pressure's
Yeah,
on
you know what I'm
you,
saying? The
man.
pressure's on
I
you.
mean,
Nah, man. You
City.
not
I
dodging this
mean,
bullet.
You got
they've
one time head on the title. It's on
we
you.
we will determine our attitude will determine our altitude. You feel me right now? And that's what City is living by. They're living by, okay, we slipped up in that 3-3 game, but that's to show you they're not taking no losses. They don't give a damn what they got to do. They're going to throw everything and they're going to throw the whole house at you. Look how long Marmoush hasn't played. He comes on and he secures another 3-0 win for them to close the goal differential gap. You understand? They're doing exactly what they need to do. The first half they come out and they don't score, but then they come out and they figure it out. This is a team that will figure it out. And I gotta give my hats off to Doku. Whereas when he first started in City, he wasn't as effective, but now they're giving him that role as in we're running this through
Free.
you as in to be free and to attack these
Yeah.
guys
Being
any
that
kind of
number.
way you want to attack them, and the team is just feeding off of that. You understand? And when you got a team like this that is so deep, you understand? If it's one game, if it's not Shirky, it's Semenyo. If it's not Semenyo, it's Doku. If it's not Doku, it's Holland. And the guys, they have this team to really hit you in different angles of attack, and the team really thrives off of that energy, and that's what I see from City right now, and that's what I saw
Yeah.
from him in this game. You understand? Haaland with a goal and an assist. You understand? He hasn't been really playing that well, but he's still what, top scorer, top two. I believe he's a top scorer still. So when you give them a chance and they can smell it, they're gonna do everything to get there, and they have the coach to really drive them to do that. It's like there's nothing new that we're not seeing here from this team. Their nucleus of that club gives them a chance to be there every year, and there's no slipping up from the league leaders because these guys are full of class, man. And to see our teams like other than Man City, whereas then you have your striker, your main striker, and then you have another striker on the bench which is just as capable, but has not played a number of games and then comes on and just secures things like that. You know,
Yeah.
that's what City's culture is.
Well said, man. Yo, John, man, give me a take quick, man. Manchester United sitting third comfortably, 0-0 against Sunderland. It was a frustrating game for them. I think they could have been better. But what do you think about Manchester United, coming out here against Sunderland 0-0, goal less? Where we expect a team that play once a week to at least score 3 goals a game.
I'm expecting them to win, especially against Sunderland, but I also at the same time I also was expecting Sunderland to kind of show out. You know, we're looking about a team that's kind of low on the table, but they have been putting up some amazing games when they've been coming up to playing the big, the big clubs or whatever. So, but besides that, I mean, I don't see anything special about the game. You know, it's Man United. You should be winning this game. Let's be honest. You're free. You have nothing to do. You're training all week. There's no other pressure. You're coming out here just breathing free. You're sitting in third place. Your statement is just to how closer can I get to Man City before the end of the season? How much of a gap can I make, for the teams chasing after me? But they don't seem to have that. I mean, they was 6 points ahead from Liverpool. So, but I mean, it's whatever. It's Man United. I don't really care. Hopefully, they don't get anything. I don't give a crap about them. Sunderland, okay, they're high up in the table. They really for a team that just got promoted. I mean, I'm happy to see them staying up after they've
Yeah.
been gone for so long, and they really, like I said, man, they're sitting 12. And then you're looking at Tottenham sitting 17, 2 points away from this relegation. So it just really shows you sometimes, the magnitude of the club. You're thinking because you got this and this and that you belong in such in a
Oh,
place, and then you have the smaller team coming in here. I mean, and the Black Cats, man, they've been great, man. I've been happy to see them play.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, it was a dull contest. I mean, it was
I mean, as a
man.
Chelsea fan, it's just kind of hard to talk shit about a team that's on top of the table than us. But Manchester United do good, dude. I mean, they definitely
I
deserve it
mean, let's be
because
honest. I
they
mean,
play
they had
once a week the whole season.
they did what they had to do this year.
Yeah, they did what they had to do. That's a fact.
They had a chance to retain some power in getting into the top 3 again with less games being played, and they took
15
their
points behind them, though. Like, that's embarrassing for us, man. It's
Yeah,
like,
with
come on.
Berlin, Villa. Oh man, Villa just falling apart, man. At least they're in the Europa finals. But
ay, ay, ay.
yeah, that's just a Villa thing, man. We're not surprised, man. Depth matters in the Premier League. Yeah. They are positioned to be in the Champions League next season. So I guess that might save some of the nonsense or the noise. Villa was a top 3 almost half of the season, and to see them just going down at the end of the season like that. But at the end of the day, man, as long as you end the season with some type of trophy, I guess all that go away. And for
Yeah, it
me,
does.
yeah, for me, moving on to Newcastle versus what's going Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest a badass team, yo. This guy,
Yeah,
they just show up and just bully guys,
yeah,
man. They
yeah.
got they're hungry, man.
They don't want
They
to get
are no
relegated.
joke. They made some good off-season signings too, so the guys,
They're good, man.
they play for the club, man.
Yeah, and the Crystal Palace 2-2 versus Everton, that was a good momentum game. I think each team had their own moments and they capitalized and just execute. And 2-2, that's not a bad game. I'm glad that some of these teams actually just drawing and losing games that's ahead of us. Hopefully, we might get a chance to climb the ladder for the next 2 games. And they keep losing. The Chelsea might be in a better position, but our Champion League right now, man, I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna get it from, but it is what it is, man. But thank you guys for watching Bala Sport, man. This is all for Premier League
Like,
Match Week
share, and
36,
subscribe.
man. Please say it again, Queens. Let them know.
Like, share, and subscribe, man.
Press
Let's
the
That's
go,
like
right,
Bala
man.
button,
Sports
man. 'Cause
TV, and press
you
the
already
like
know, bro.
button.
Thank you guys for being here, John. Queens, you already
Bless
know,
up.
bro, man.
It's
Already
always a
know.
pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure.
Bless up.